Creating little balls and then making them into a teardrop like so, all about the same size. Okay, so now that we have all of these nice looking little teardrops, we're going to start to attach them here. Hold on one second. So what we want to do, you can, if this clay is really dry, then you might want to score it a little bit before you start applying. But if it feels pretty good, give it a douse of water. Okay, and you can start pressing these in. And again, you could do it where they kind of stack up on each other. And you want these points facing in. And again, you want, as you press down, you want to support this outside edge. You don't want to smush what you've already done. That's super lovely. And you want to be able to see like how that's going to look. Do I like that? Do I want it sticking in farther? Do I want it sticking out farther? How do I want it? You know? And so those are aesthetic decisions that you will make. And some of you guys, your coils that were twisted have a spot that, you know, you didn't quite get all the way around. That would be an excellent place to start stacking these and fill up the space, right? So I'm going to do a few here. I think I'm going to do this one. I might make one more. And start to stick them kind of onto each other here. Just make sure wherever you're making connections, you've at the very least put water. Now remember, this technique only works if your clay is nice and moist. If your clay is not nice and moist, this is not going to work. Okay? I'm going to do one more. There we go. One more just to make an even stack. Now once I get this in here, and I've got this on here, and I can look at it from the front, it looks a little bit like that, right? And that kind of gives us a beaded look. Then again, I'm going to take my wood tool, making sure that there's no dried up clay here, and I'm going to start to, again, blend it down. Now we've left this. I like doing these kind of techniques all at once when the clay is super soft. So hopefully everybody's clay is soft enough to do this. Remember, you want to support this on the outside edge. You can kind of come in from different directions and blend it. And all of those points to those little teardrop shapes are the spaces where you're going to be blending it on the inside. So once you're done with that, you might take your sponge, smooth it. And then you can see how that looks on the inside. You can also take this, guys, and just come in and, like I have a spot here that needs a little further blending, and a spot here. And it's sometimes nice just to hold my whole hand is supporting this so that it doesn't become misshapen, right? And you want to make sure your wall stays thick enough to support itself, because this is very soft clay. Right? So now we have these lovely beads. These look really kind of cool. And you could do a whole layer around the edge of this if you wanted to, but we're going to do something else. So I'm going to show you another trick. Okay? But that's what I want you guys to do with those lovely beads. Okay, so the next one that the next two we're going to do are kind of a little bit of a coil. So again, if I can get your attention up here. So you want to have 2 coils that are like this to the side, right? And we're going to take them both actually and kind of pinch off and make kind of a small end to start. Like so. And then with one of them, you're going to take, let's see, how do I want to do this? You're going to take a roller and you're going to kind of angle the roller a little bit and give yourself kind of a pointy side, like this. Can you guys see that? How I made it pointy on one side? I'm going to do it on the other side too. I have a little bit of an extra spot here, so I'm going to fudge that back. So can you see that? Where it becomes a little bit triangular. I have a goofy spot there I don't like, but I'm going to blend that in. Okay, and then I have a regular coil. So with the regular coil, I'm going to just start a little bit small. Again, like everything that we're doing, we're adding a little moisture. If you pinch the end, it gives you a little bit of an area to kind of start that coil so it can kind of come in tight. And then you're going to go like this, and you're going to continue to add moisture. If you get cracking, that will help with your cracking. And you're going to create this lovely coil. Like so. And you can make it as big or as small as you want. See, I'm getting a little bit of cracking right here. I'm just going to add a little moisture to help with that. Add a little moisture where I want them to connect. Okay, and then I'm just going to cut off that end to kind of give it a finished look. Okay. And that's one coil. Now with this other coil, let's start this end a little bit better. I have it pinched here on this side. I'm going to roll it just a little more towards the end. And then I'm going to start this one like so with a little moisture. Bring it in. Now, what do you guys notice about this one that's a little different? As I start to bring it in. How is this one different? It's flat. Yeah. It creates a little bit more of a distinctive line when you roll it a little more triangularly. See how this is a little bit more of a triangle? And it just looks a little bit different, a little more distinctive. So I'm going to bring that around, continuing to add moisture as I do. I have this goofy spot, so I'm going to stop at my goofy spot. And cut it off. This one's a little smaller, but that's okay. And I'm going to come back to my wood tool and make sure it's clean and doesn't have like old dried clay on it. And I'm going to blend that in. Okay, and that gives us 2 coils that look a little bit different. Now we're going to attach those in a similar way. So we're going to bring our project over, and we can attach those like right here. Right here, you can decide like how they work. And again, add a little moisture. If you want to start to, if clay is starting to get a little bit dry and you're concerned, you can add a little bit of scoring on both sides. That will help kind of build up that connection. And a little bit of moisture. Again, on both sides. And then I'm going to bring this in, and you can curve it slightly. Hold on, let me get in the... Curve it ever so slightly so it kind of follows your form. And then we'll blend it. Okay, so everybody give that a try. I'm going to try one over here with this side out. bring it up like that. It's a little better. And sometimes these are going to get a little bit slippery. So I like to set them there and set them the way I want them to look. And then give them a little bit of a minute before I come back and blend them. Just kind of a minute to set up. And again, I'll support it, blend it over. Make sure I have a good connection from one piece of clay to the other. And I'm also blending the whole inside of this coil because I want to make sure that within the actual structure of the coil that it stays connected as well. So I'll show you guys how I'm doing that. Kind of working from the outside in. If you've started to lose your shaping on the outside, you can come in with a tool and kind of reshape that as well. We've got it smushed a little bit out here, so I'm just going to reshape that just a little. There. All right, mine's still very wet, so I'm going to sponge it and then bag it.